Okay, this lesson is for 7th grade. Okay, you're going to find more exercises like this on page 17 of your books. You will also find a list of extra exercises that you will need to hand in at the moment that we return to class on the link under this video. Okay, so we have been working with equations, and we were working with equations with whole numbers. Okay, now we're going to work with equations with decimals. They're practically the same procedure. The only thing is that now we're going to need a calculator. Okay, so you will be permitted, okay, you will be able to use a calculator when we return to class and when we work these exercises. Okay, so make sure to have a calculator at hand. Okay, so let's start working. Okay, the first three exercises are pretty simple. We don't have an equation. We just need to apply the distributive rule. Okay, in this case, either distributive or the parentheses rule. Okay, so in the first one, we have negative 0.7, okay, multiplied by 18.4. Okay, so we take our calculators, okay, and we just put negative 0.7 times 18.4. Okay, if you want to see how it looks in the calculator, you can check it here. I'm not sure if it's clear, okay, but you can do that as well. Okay, so here we need to remember the negative and positive rules. Okay, so it's important. If we have negative times a positive, it's going to be a negative answer. Okay, so when we do this multiplication, we have that the answer is minus 12.88. Okay, here we just multiply. Negative times positive, negative. 0.7 times 18.4, 12.88. Okay, so here we have our first answer. Okay, we do the same thing with the next one. The next one says minus 4.5, okay, 4.5 times negative 9.25. Okay, so since they are both negative, that means that the answer is going to be positive. Okay, remember, negative times negative is going to be positive. Okay, so when we perform this multiplication, we already know it's going to be positive, and 4.5 times 9.25 is going to be 41.62. Okay, and there we have our second answer. Okay, let's work the third one. The third one is a division. Okay, so here we just need to divide. Okay, so we take our calculators, negative 29.07, and negative divided by negative, the answer is going to be positive. Okay, so we have to remember the rules. Okay, so negative 29.07 divided by 1.9, and the answer is going to be positive. We already know that. Okay, so we have that it is 15.3. Okay, and we know it is positive. Okay, so this was pretty simple. Okay, because we did not have to solve for any equation. Okay, now from number 4 to number 8, we do need to solve for the equation. Okay, so let's take number 4 here. Okay, if we don't have enough space, I'm going to erase. Okay, so the first one says x plus 4.7 equals 3.5. Sorry, 3.5. Okay, so how do we solve this equation? Okay, we need to solve like we were solving previous equations. Okay, if this number, okay, is positive, we switch it to the other side, negative. Okay, and we have to solve for x because we're looking for the value that is going to help us make this equation true. Okay, so if this 4.7 is positive, I'm going to switch it to the other side, negative. So I have 3.5 minus 4.7. Okay, so that means that we're going to have a negative answer. Okay, because we have that 3.5 minus 4.7, which is a bigger number. Okay, so 3.5 minus 4.7. Sometimes we can do them by just looking at them, but it's better to check with a calculator. Okay, because remember, if the answer is not exact, it's wrong. Okay, so we have that the answer is negative 1.2. Okay, and there we have our answer. Okay, let's work on number 5. Okay, number 5 says y minus 6.91 equals negative 2.26. Okay, so let's solve for y. Okay, if this number is negative, how am I going to switch it to the other side? Positive. Remember, when we move it from one side to the other side of a equal sign, that means that we have to change the sign. Okay, so we have that y equals minus 2.26, because this one didn't change. This one is still on this side, plus 6.91. Okay, so we have that y, okay, it's going to be negative 2.26 plus 6.91. That's going to be positive. Remember, it's a positive answer, 4.65. And there we have our answer. Okay? Let's work on number 6. Number 6 says x plus 3.8 equals 5.2. Okay? So, we solve for x. Okay? This number is positive. I'm going to switch it to the other side. Negative. Okay, so I have x equals 5.2 minus 3.8. Okay, so we have that the value, okay, we take out our calculators, 5.2 minus 3.8, and we have that the answer is 1.4 positive. Okay, because the bigger number is positive. Okay? I think we have space for number 7, and we'll work number 8 on this side. Okay? So, number 7. Number 7 says a plus 10.4 equals negative 1.7. Okay? So we have a plus 10.4 equals negative 1.17. Okay? So this number, okay, this number is positive. How do I switch it to the other side? Negative. Okay? So we have a equals minus 1.17 minus 10.4. Okay? So since these are negatives, both are negatives, the answer is going to be negative. Okay, so 1.17 negative minus 10.4 is going to be 11.57. Okay, so A, 11.57 and negative. Okay, because they're both negative, so it's like we add them up. Okay, and there we have our answer. Let's work number 8 over here. Okay, so we have negative 0.6 x equals negative 5.1. Okay, so they are both negatives. Okay, and 0.6 on this side, what is it doing? Okay, here it's multiplying. So we move it to the other side, dividing. Okay, and remember, we do not change the sign because we are dividing. Okay, it's the same thing as doing this. Dividing 0.6 on this side and dividing 0.6. That's why we don't change the sign. Okay, because technically we're not moving it. Okay, we're going to do the same division on both sides so that it keeps the balance. Okay, so 0.6 cancels with this one. Okay, and then we just have that x is equal to minus 5.1 divided by negative 0.6. Okay, so we do 5.1 divided by 0.6, and that is a positive answer because negative divided by negative is going to be positive. Okay, so that is 8.5. Okay, and there we have our answer. Okay, so this is solving equations. Okay, it's pretty basic, it's pretty simple, it's pretty the same thing with the other equations that we were working on the previous lesson, but now we have decimals. Okay, so for decimals, okay, if we try to divide them by hand, we're going to take too much time. Okay, so you will be able to use your calculators. Okay, so make sure to have one when you're working these exercises. Okay, so under this link you'll find more videos, more exercises, and be sure to check out page 17, okay, on your books. Okay, page 17, you can work exercises from 1 to 12. Okay, you can also use from 13 to 24. Okay, so make sure to check them out so that you can solve them. Okay, and continue practicing. Remember, this is all part of your accumulative points.